Everybody, what's going on? Jeff Rager, another episode of The Daily Ticket. It's a hump day, a Wednesday. It's the 15th. It's May. It's 2024. And thank you yesterday for watching the Jerry Cooney episode. How great was he? Hopefully, maybe you get a chance to check out the Detroit Golden Gloves going on at what formerly is Cobo. I didn't realize like that Huntington Place or Huntington Palace used to be Cobo. I had no idea. Till I mentioned the name and somebody said, "Oh, hey, did you realize that was Cobo?" I guess I didn't. So anyway, hope you get a chance to check that out. But Jerry Cooney was awesome. Great stories. And I totally agree with him. Mike Tyson is going to kick the shit out of Jake Paul. At least in my opinion. Have you seen the Tyson videos? Unbelievable. Like that dude is 58 years old and I feel it's not going to be even close. It's going to be like one of those Jerry Cooney fights. He's going to knock out Paul pretty quick. First round, second round, sanctioned bout. I can't wait to watch. I mean, it's July. It's on Netflix. I'm going to have a Tyson party. I used to love Mike. Love him. I can't tell you how many times as 19, 20, 21-year-old Jeff Rager, we used to have the Tyson pay-per-views. We would all used to put in money. We watched Tyson. We played poker. We drink. We gamble. We had a blast. And the majority of those fights lasted for like 94 seconds. I was a big fan of Tyson. I cannot wait to watch in July. So thank you to Jerry Cooney for joining the Daily Ticket. Now, on with the show. Because what I want to talk about is something that's been going on forever, it seems like, in Detroit. And it's not the Jared Goff debates. We'll get more into Goff tomorrow because I do believe he's due to talk to the media today, and I'll be able to bring you his comments. But this went under the radar. I'm almost certain this went under the radar. I didn't even know about it until Monday. But the Tigers are playing the Astros Sunday. Justin Verlander did a podcast about it, told you how I was rooting for JV, took a perfect game into the fifth inning, you know, the whole deal, right? During that game, Tigers lost like 9-3, I want to say the final was. I didn't even realize this happened. But Colt Keith hit a ball that was kind of deep. 383-foot pop-out, fly-out to the deepest part of the ballpark in right field. That happened on Sunday. After the game, and again, people were focused on Verlander, people were focused on the offense that wasn't there, people were focused on losing a series to the Astros. This went under the radar. Colt Keith, and this is according to Evan Petzold, does a great job for the Freep. I think Evan was the only person to have this comment. I wish I had it in audio so we could hear his inflection. But here's what Colt Keith said about his 383-foot flyout on a 93.2 mile per hour fastball from Justin Verlander. Quote, "That's over the road in Erie, bro. That's out of the stadium in Toledo. I don't know. I got to hit my homers on the road. It's a big ballpark." Unquote. Now, the people that actually caught wind of this statement by Colt Keith were immediately annoyed. Like, what is a rookie who is yet to hit a home run doing, bringing up Erie and Toledo? Like, Colt, if you're not careful, you might end up there. Like, Colt, if you want them to send you there to hit bombs and dongs, then you know what? Maybe they'll do that. Like, if I'm a rookie, I'm not mentioning the minor leagues. Would you agree with that, Olive?
What do you mean?
Should a rookie be upset about Comerica Park's dimensions?
No.
All right. You think like the fans. Oh my goodness. My daughter, my dog. It's impossible to do a podcast these days. Anyway, here's what I was getting at though. A lot of people were annoyed by the comments simply because A, it's a rookie saying it and bringing up like Erie and Toledo. Like, what are you doing, bruh? And then the second part of it is, every fan in the history of baseball, especially in Detroit, hates dimension talks. Like, hates them. Do you have any idea how many Tigers have bitched about the dimensions over the course of time since Comerica Park was invented? Every one of them, I think. So it's not just Colt Keith. It's not. And see, this is why the comments don't bother me at all. Like, is it the greatest look for a rookie to bitch about dimensions when he's yet to hit a dong and he signed a $26, $27 million contract without having played a game in Major League Baseball? No, probably not the greatest look. However, I understand the frustration because he's not alone. Miguel Cabrera did it all the time. Nick Castellanos called Comerica Park a joke because of the dimensions. People were pissed. Nick Castellanos also said, imagine how many home runs Miguel Cabrera would have if he played in a normal ballpark. But it wasn't just those two guys. Juan Gonzalaez, when the ballpark officially opened back in like 2000. Remember Juan Gon was the big acquisition by Randy Smith? Traded like 8 guys to get Gonzalez. They offered him a huge contract. He said no. He ended up going to Cleveland. Next thing you know, he wasn't very good anymore. Like Juan Gonzalez bitched about the dimensions. Victor Martinez, oh my God, bitched about the dimensions over and over and over again. Robbie Grossman, remember him? He bitched about the dimensions. I'll never forget it. He said, when I used to come here as a visitor, everybody hated hitting in this ballpark because nobody can hit the ball out of the ballpark. Everybody has bitched about Comerica Park's dimensions. So it's not just Colt Keith. And I'm actually on the side of Colt Keith because I know fans get so angry about this topic for some reason, but I don't understand why. So what? Castellanos thought the ballpark was a joke and you wanted him gone? I think he's right. If everybody is bitching about the dimensions, maybe they're onto something. You're talking about great players, you're talking about not so great players. Maybe they're onto something. Here's the other thing, too, by the way. When Comerica Park was first built, I found this on Baseball Reference. Says the following: the selling point of Comerica Park is its huge outfield. The dimensions here would be better suited for Coors Field. It got so ridiculous that 2 years after the stadium opened, inner fences were built in left field, and in 2005, the empty space was filled with the bullpens. The biggest change in distance was in left center field. In 2000, it was 395 feet to left center. But after 2006, it became only 370. Here's the current dimensions. Oh, and by the way, if the dimensions weren't a problem, why did they move them in yet again? Left field's 342. You got to pull a ball 342? That seems way too far to me. Left center, now 370. Better than the whole 395, but still too big. Center field, where balls go to die, 412 feet. Right center, 365, and right field is 330. The dimensions are a joke. They are. I agree with Colt Keith. I do. I like home runs. You like home runs. I looked this up. And where does Comerica Park rank as far as giving up home runs? I'll tell you. They give up the 4th least home runs in all of baseball, behind the Athletics, the Guardians, the Giants, and then there's the Tigers and the Pirates, who are tied. I think Colt Keith is well within his rights to say what he said, and you should not get infuriated or even annoyed by it. I heard the morning show talking about it. They seem truly annoyed by it. What is it about the players ripping on the dimensions and the fans taking the side of the ballpark? It makes zero sense to me. Here's the other thing that nobody thinks about. The dimensions, they get in your head. Maybe that's why Torque only has 2 home runs. Now, with the taping of this podcast, it's 5:38 on a Tuesday, so maybe he hits another one tonight, and by the time you listen or watch, then Torque has 3 or 4. Because the Marlins, who they're playing, give up a lot of homers. But the bottom line is, these dimensions fuck with people's heads. They do. How many times you got to hit a ball to left center field? You absolutely pipe it, hit it on the barrel, and it gets caught, not even at the warning track. So while a lot of people are going to be like, oh, great, here's a rookie so upset talking about his warning track power, I'm going to say he's absolutely right. And I agree 100% with Colt Keith. The dimensions are too big. They've always been too big. And I think they screw with hitters' minds. The other thing, too, is yes, I understand that both teams have to play with the dimensions. I get it. But here's the deal. When Randy Smith, and I think it was Randy Smith that came up with the idea of these ridiculous dimensions to begin with, he was thinking, oh, yeah, we're going to have a doubles and triples park. Has this team ever had the personnel to fit their ballpark? Like, never, ever. No, it's not like Colt Keith is hitting homers on the road either. So I can't really defend him on that part of it. I can't help him there. But I'm curious what you think of Colt Keith's comments. After hitting a ball that resulted in an out on Sunday, Keith still looking for his first home run of the season. He said the following, quote, "That's over the road in Erie, bro. That's out of the stadium in Toledo. I don't know. I got to hit my homers on the road. It's a big park." Unquote. What do you think? I'm totally with him. I have no problem with what he had to say. He's absolutely right. They just keep moving in the dimensions, so they're telling you that they're wrong. And the dimension should be a little more hitter friendly. Curious what you think. Have the dimensions always bothered you? Are you one of these people that always bash guys that speak out about the Comerica Park dimensions? Like, I remember when Castellanos called the ballpark a joke. People were so offended, but I think he was kind of right. Here's the other thing about the ballpark, and I don't mean to pile on, but the ballpark really doesn't have any feelings, so I think we're going to be okay. I went to the game on Sunday. I watched Verlander pitched. Took my mom, took my daughter, took my wife. We were sitting fifth row down the third base line. Great seats until somebody sits in front of you. Like, I'm not even kidding. A couple came down and sat right in front of us. We couldn't see anything. You're like this, tilting your head. Oh, what's going on up there? You can't see. My biggest beef with Comerica has always been the seating. Now, the sun isn't great. You got to find a spot on a hot day for shade. You do what you got to do. I don't mind the sun, but some people do. But the seating has always annoyed the crap out of me. Why not build it like the old Tiger Stadium, which was vertical? You were on top of the action. Your seat was always higher than the seat in front of you. Comerica Park's not like that. It's way too horizontal. I don't think you can see the action. I'd rather be on top of the action. That's why, like Progressive Field, for instance, in Cleveland, that's a nice ballpark. Simply because I like the seating. I like it going up. I like being able to see the action. Tiger Stadium, that was a great ballpark. You were on top of the action. Comerica Park, you're not. It's always bugged me. You can let me know what you think. Always bugged me. In the meantime, let me get you some comments and then let's get the heck out of here. How about this? One of the last podcasts I did was about Justin Verlander and him owning his old team, the Detroit Tigers. What were people saying? Let me give you some. At Michael Chin, 525. This team takes strikes and swings at balls. That's why they don't hit. I don't disagree with you at all. How about this one? At Elijah Robert Cinema, 6351. Bro, that mic ain't picking up shit. Your PC mic is what we're hearing. No, listen, the last podcast was, that was on me. That was bad. I'm sorry. The audio was not great. I had multiple people bitch to me about it, so I hope it's fixed for this one. How about this one? At Ross Abraham. I did a lot of bad things on Monday's podcast. When you took the Lord's name in vain in this video, it really bugged me. You're allowed to do whatever you want, but I know you want feedback from your listeners. That's at Ross Abraham. No, Ross, I'm sorry about that. I said GT. I did. And I apologize if it offended you. Now, we went over the whole thing about swearing. Am I allowed to swear? Do you get offended by the swearing? I probably let that slip out. And you know what? You're probably right about that. So I apologize. That's on me. And then I got one more for you. At Colonel Straits, 1069. The fact that we had Verlander and Scherzer and did not win a World Series still stings. Two of the game's greatest pitchers in one rotation. That's a once-in-a-generation occurrence. I would agree with you. They had like 5 Cy Young winners, and they never won a World Series. Kind of sucked. Anyway, that's going to do it for the Daily Ticket. Let me know what you think about the Colt Keith comments. Bitching about Comerica Park's dimension. He's the latest. I went down the long list of people that have done it. I'm totally with them. These dimensions screw with hitters' heads. And I don't understand why they just don't move it in even more, to tell you the truth. Every year it seems like they move in the dimensions, which is pretty much admitting that the dimensions are not all that fair. So let me know what you think. Do you have a problem with Colt Keith saying it, who has yet to homer? At least at the taping of this podcast, he's yet to homer. Maybe that changes on Tuesday night. And by the time you listen or watch on Wednesday, Colt Keith has a dong. All right, that's going to do it for the Daily Ticket. We'll catch you tomorrow on a Thursday. Hope to have some Jared Goff audio for you. Have a great day, everybody. See ya.